Hey folks, Allison here. Okay, today I want to talk about part 3 on making decisions. And today I want to talk about a few principles for making better decisions, for making sound decisions in your life. So the first thing is to make a good decision, we need to have all the information. And when we talk about getting information or doing research, we have to be very careful that we're not just researching, let's say, people's opinions on things. But when we look at research, especially scientific research, it has to be double-blind studies. It has to be replicatable. So if you're looking at, let's say, scientific or medical research, there's a lot of people with opinions out there. There's a lot of scientists today with opinions out there, but it doesn't always square with the actual research. So understanding that. Now, there is a time for getting different opinions. You might want to get expert opinions. Let's say you're making a decision that's going to impact you legally. To get a couple of legal opinions on something is really important, but to make sure that it's based on the law and not on prejudices or cultural things or political agendas that people may have. So getting good information and then evaluating that information. The other thing, you always want to consult moral principles. Does this square with the Ten Commandments, with church teaching? Is what I'm considering moral, or what's the most moral thing to do in this situation? It's very easy to get swayed by our emotions. We want something so badly. Let's say, a lot of people wind up in affairs because they really haven't consulted those moral principles. They allow emotions to get in the way, and they never would have found themselves in that situation or thought they'd find themselves in that situation. So we do have to make good decisions based on moral principles. All right, if we're forced to do something that we know in our hearts or according to the law or church teaching is immoral, then that's a really important criteria to use in whether or not you're going to do something. The other thing is faith. Do we trust God? Are we acting in faith? But again, that faith has to be grounded in reality. All right. A lot of people think faith is just wishful thinking. Well, I really believe God will do this for me. Well, is it morally sound? Is it scientifically sound? Have we done just even something like researching buying a vacuum cleaner, right? Something simple as that. Read the reviews, look at things, consider your needs. Don't just go with opinions and emotions, and don't just have faith that, God will take care of everything. It's just like saying, I have faith that God will take care of anything. I could jump off the roof and I won't fall. Of course you're going to fall because God has set certain principles in the universe. So our faith has to be grounded in, I have done the research, this is morally sound, and even though sometimes we're never 100% sure, our faith comes in to say, all right, well, Lord, I'm trusting you that I've done everything that I can do, that you're going to bring good out of whatever decision I make. I look at Mother Angelica and Mother Teresa, who both ask the same question. How do you know if something is God's will? You know what they said? See what happens. Watch what happens. So we're never always going to have 100% certainty when we make a decision, and that's where faith comes in our trust in God. The other thing that and I think this is a really key indicator when we're making a decision, is to really listen to your heart, your intuitions, your feelings, because sometimes we can't really put our finger on something, or maybe we do the research, it all lines up, it sounds good, there's nothing immoral about it, but there's something in our heart that may be stopping us, that we're hesitant, or we don't feel like a real green light to go. That's really, really important, because there are certain things that are not obvious, even though they may fit all the other criteria. Always then say, do I have peace in my heart? Or am I acting out of fear that I'm going to lose something? Sometimes people make investments because, I've got to do it. I don't want to, they're acting too hastily. When God has something good for you, he doesn't usually rush us. So when we feel like, that we have to make a decision very quickly, that's not a good sign. So again, what do your feelings say? What is your intuition? And now what does that require? It requires taking some quiet time. It requires prayer. It requires really going within and asking God to give you that courage to face whatever that intuition is. Because sometimes we may want something so badly, and yet there's something in our heart holding us back, and we almost want to ignore it because we want something so badly. But that is often God telling you something. Sometimes our guardian angels talk to us that way also. So those would be the principles, again, to do good research based on actual scientific information or facts, not just opinions, all right? To get good opinions of people who are experts in a field, but based on real research, not political agendas. That's really important. To follow moral principles, to have faith that whatever decision you make, if you're using these principles to make a good decision, that God is going to bring good from it, even if it might be the wrong decision, He can still write it for you. But also to follow your feelings, to get fear under control, right? Follow your feelings and your intuitions. Trust your heart, because the Holy Spirit speaks to us there in our hearts, all right? Our heart is primary, and it's all guided by reason. So that's the important thing. Hope you find that really helpful. God bless you. Make sure you subscribe below, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. God bless you.